Hello, fabulous friends and fans. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of October 30th, 2016. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a big, exciting week. Well, every week does hold that promise to be big and exciting. This week, we've got a new moon taking place right out of the gate. Now, this new moon is happening in the sky with Mercury speaking in supreme harmony with Neptune. The Sun and Mercury are going to extend this energy over the course of this week, speaking in supreme harmony with Neptune and also speaking in harmony with Pluto. Also, thanks to Mercury and the Sun, we are going to experience an extension of this energy. Now, whenever there's a new moon, it represents new beginnings, planting seeds, new insights, new possibilities, new tangible opportunities. All of that promised with a new moon. Well, this time that promise element is pretty strong, but at the same time, we've got mind meeting clarity, meeting will, meeting what you really want, all coming together and lending itself to inspiration and faith that you can have it. By the time we move to the later part of the week, there's a real sense that you can be a force for positive change in your life and the motivation to be just that for yourself. So this is very exciting and this is very hopeful as well. Now, what's also really awesome is that wherever you are on the planet, chances are pretty strong that you are going to celebrate Halloween under the light of a Scorpio new moon. And so the moon will be in Scorpio for Halloween if you are so inclined to celebrate, to partake in festivities, if that is something that you do, if that is something that happens in your part of the world. Well, this kind of sky will have you really enjoying every single piece of it, however you approach it. So whether you're a person who approaches it more from the spiritual side, like they do here in Mexico, where it has to do with honoring the ancestors, or if you are a person who approaches it more in the sense of the fun and the costumes and the possibilities of bringing forward a whole other part of yourself, of being somebody that you really want to be, or connecting with an archetype that you really want to connect to understand yourself better. However you understand this, you've got lots of cosmic support to make it go exceptionally well for yourself. And it's also super romantic as well. Look, Mercury and the Sun speaking in supreme harmony with Neptune over the course of this week really allows us to get caught up in a dream, caught up in a fantasy, including a romantic fantasy at that. It isn't always the best energy in terms of reality, but we do have other reality-based energy, right? They work well together, fantasy and reality. But we've got some strong reality-based energy here that does suggest we'll understand what really matters. We'll be able to connect to what really matters and at the same time have faith in all the possibilities, whether it is in the moment possibilities or in the bigger picture types of possibilities as well. So a lot of the serious energy really is thanks to Venus. Right at this new moon, we've also got Venus meeting Saturn in the sky. Now, ordinarily, like Neptune, speaking with all these power players in the sky, I would say be careful about overdoing it. You know, be careful about way too much partying, way too much connecting with another archetype or another state of consciousness. But because Venus is speaking with Saturn, actually meeting Saturn in the sky, joining energies with Saturn, we're not that likely to get that carried away. And so this idea of the illusion and getting really caught up in it, while there is that invitation there and while it can be very enticing, at the same time, there will be some grounded practical application, some eye towards the bigger picture that can also guide some of the choices that we make and can also help temper what otherwise could go way overboard, which can happen with a Neptune trine. So we've got this beautiful, encouraging sky, and we've got a sky that says, at the same time, be honest with yourself as you go forward with faith and with possibility and with inspiration. As you're carried away with inspiration, know that your feet can also be on the ground and that you can choose at any moment what state of consciousness would most serve you best in any given moment. So that's a big part of the promise in the early part of the week. But it's not all heavy duty. Like I said, yes, Venus is meeting Saturn. Happens about once a year and lends itself to some type of reality check where it comes to most likely love, but also comes to things like money and spending. Now, as we move towards the later part of the week, though, the energy will flip, it'll turn around, and we will have Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus. There'll be lots of possibilities, positive changes all around, lovely surprises, romantic surprises, money surprises are promised with this particular energy. So whatever seems so serious early in the week, tap into that new moon energy. Tap into the energy of belief and possibility and potential. Tap into that and don't give in to what otherwise could be a very serious energy. Because as we move towards Venus speaking in supreme harmony with Uranus towards the end of the week, this does suggest a real sense of happiness, a real sense of freedom. And it's like in an instant, all of a sudden, all kinds of options and opportunities and possibilities show up. Very quickly, plans can be made. Very quickly, there can be a turnaround that just positively delights you and each one of us in at least one area of life. Now, also this week, I don't often talk about transits to the nodes, but I thought that this was worth mentioning. We do have Neptune this week meeting the South Node in the sky. The nodes to me are very important in the natal chart. So in your birth chart, the nodes are super important. They speak to sort of karmic turning points when a planet meets them. And what we have here is Neptune meeting the South Node in the sky in some way or another, all of us collectively, because the nodes speak to our collective journey towards greater love and greater wisdom. How are we with this, with this world right now and with all the things in the news and all the people in Facebook that are getting deleted and blocked and stuff? How are we as a collective ultimately actually in this moment? As part of the mystery, we are moving in a positive direction. We are moving towards greater love and greater wisdom. While having Neptune move with the South Node, over the South Node, does suggest a real turning point, if you will, a karmic turning point, if you will, for all of us. And with Neptune, it becomes about recognizing the illusion, recognizing where it is that we've bought into what otherwise is not tangible, is not really a solid vision for how it is that we're going to move towards greater love and greater wisdom. Now that is going to be unique to each of us, and a lot depends on how that Neptune is speaking in your chart. Neptune's not always clear, but when Neptune moves over the South Node, in some major way, we allow a healthy closure to take place. And in our own lives as well, certainly in our own individual journeys. A lot also depends on our own journeys as to what is happening in your natal chart. I do gotta say that. And if planets are moving over your particular nodes, that tends to also represent major karmic turning points. Well, this is a collective karmic turning points. Now you add to the fact, this particular new moon that's happening early in the week is happening in the sign of Scorpio, happening with Mercury. That is so much about energy that says investigative journalism, right? Journalism that digs deep and uncovers. Like, those are the type of keywords I hear when I hear new moon in Scorpio with Mercury in the sky. And then you add to this energy that's going to be taking place now of closure, of understanding, what it is that has served its purpose for us as humanity in terms of a belief, in terms of an ideal. All of this coming together does represent some positive changes taking place all around. I hope that you will nourish that. What the world needs now more than ever is positive energy, is love energy, is unity energy, really. And so if you can be a force for that in your own life, within yourself, having unity within yourself and peace within yourself, that goes a really, really long way towards helping the collective, with the people you interact with the people that you know. I'm not saying you got to be Facebook friends with somebody you don't want to be Facebook friends with, but what I am saying is that it really can go a long way to helping us collectively move in that positive direction by allowing yourself to move in that positive direction as well. Recognizing what it is that has served its karmic purpose in our lives, so that we can lovingly let it go with absolute gratitude and absolute enthusiasm for all the amazing things that are coming up ahead. Well, thank you so much for watching the introduction. I'm truly so grateful for it. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up. It does mean so much. I love interacting with you guys. Please keep them coming. Facebook, Twitter, Google+, my website, nadiyashah.com, the YouTube comments, and also Instagram as well. I've really enjoyed growing my Instagram over the last little while and all the love that is there. Thank you so much. My Instagram is Nadiya_Shah. There's a few different Nadiya Shah accounts. They're actually all my accounts. I don't know how I got so many Instagram accounts, but the one that I've been using is Nadiya_Shah. I hope that you will join me there on Instagram. Sometimes I'm asked questions that are a little bit more personal that have to do with your unique situation. If that's the case, please do consider a personalized horoscope where I can do just that. Look at your unique chart and answer your unique questions. You can learn more about that on my website, nadiyashah.com. The webinars recently came to a close. So very recently, the last webinar as part of the October series took place. Thank you so much to everybody out there who joined me. It truly was such a joy, such a pleasure. I learned so much about myself and from each other. We created an amazing space together for every single class. So all the classes that took place in October, the live webinars that took place, well, full video downloads are available. Each class is over 2 hours long. Full video downloads are available on my website, nadiyashah.com, of all the classes that took place this month in October, and also the very popular classes that took place back in August as well. So you can find me online, synchronicityuniversity.com, and also, of course, my website, nadiyashah.com as well, to check out those webinars, to have a look, and to really download these webinars and have that to learn from infinitely. I want to give a shout out, well, more than a shout out. I want to celebrate with you this month's new moon artist. The new moon artist now is Polina Outkina. Super excited to celebrate Polina with you. Polina, what really caught me about her work was the variety. I mean, the skill, the girl's got skills, let's put it that way, where it comes to art and bringing a variety of different styles into the mix. She's got a very impressive resume, big time clients there, and does all kinds of work from branding to corporate work to children's books, to children's illustrations, portraits, dark fantasy, all of it. There's this beautiful variety and in so many different styles. I was just really, really impressed at the depth and at the knowledge of art and at the ability as well, this varied ability to bring forward so many different styles depending on the context. So you can check out her website. I will link to it. She's also an astrologer. She calls herself a karmic shifter, so I love it. She's part of putting love and wisdom into the world. I'll make sure those links are in the description, so I do hope that you will check out her work. And thank you. I'm so excited to celebrate with you this month's featured artist, Polina Outkina. Thank you so much once again for being here. Thank you for watching all the introduction, all of it. So grateful. Now, how all this wonderful stuff this week speaks to you and your sign is coming up right now. Hello, fabulous Aries. This week's full moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with what we like to call other people's money, spouse's income, grants, loans, bursaries, insurance payments, tax returns. So chunks of money. There's the real possibility now, okay? There's the hope, there's the wish, and there is that possibility. So keep the faith. You'll get to know more clearly what steps you can take to create greater prosperity for yourself as we move towards the later part of the week. Now, you've got that much more cosmic support if your aims for attracting this income or attracting this money is related to any kind of artistic endeavor in particular. So if you are an artist of any kind, music, writing, painting, whatever the case may be, if you are an artist, you've got that much more cosmic support, poet at that. lots of more cosmic support to make sure that maximum benefit can be gained with this energy. But all Aries out there should feel some kind of boost, some kind of understanding of what resources are available to you. Where it comes to love, we do have Venus meeting Saturn early in the week before Venus moves on to speak in supreme harmony with Uranus in your sign towards the later part of the week. No matter how things look early in the week, how serious, how dire even, I gotta say, in all honesty. I mean, look, there's a lot of hope. It's a new moon. That's really great. But at the same time, if you're open to meeting someone new, it can feel a little restrictive in the early part of the week. If you are in an established bond, again, it can feel like there's a serious matter that you have to attend to. But as we move towards the later part of the week, things can change so quickly. It's all lovely, romantic, surprise, wonderful opportunity. All of that could just show up for you. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. All signs this week really need to keep the faith. But you, where it comes to love, I mean, that faith will pay off big time, really, before the week is over. Hello, fabulous Taurus. What an exciting week it is. And especially for you, you've got this beautiful new moon happening in your opposite sign. Your partner, if you're in an established bond or you've got a business partnership, it's like someone else that you are aligned with comes through for you in a really big way. Now, when you've got a new moon in your opposite sign, it pretty much guarantees that someone's going to be there for you to understand something about love. Again, if you're in an established bond, well, that person's already there. And this can be a time of some good news. A lot of hope seems to be there. A lot of creative energy as well. So whether you're planning on doing something together, as might be the case of a business partnership, this can be a time when great ideas are abounding. But also if it is a partnership that's a little bit more personal, that has to do with love, somebody that you are in an established bond with, some really, whether it's just a lovely romantic gesture or something a lot more tangible, it does seem like this person really comes through for you. If you are open to meeting someone new, this kind of sky can have you looking at what you really hope for in love, what you dream for, what your ideal is. You're getting a chance to have a deeper understanding of that, very likely through someone new presenting themselves to you now. Hello, fabulous Gemini. This week, we've got a beautiful new moon playing out in a part of the sky for you that has to do with work and the workplace. So coworkers especially will come to you. Likely there'll be all kinds of mystical understandings, maybe some very flowy language. So be aware of that. I mean, it just looks like it's very likely a coworker or someone you hire, like a hairdresser or even your doctor, like wants to get all spiritual with you and start talking to you about matters that otherwise would be a little bit more ephemeral, start talking to you about karma and past lives and taking you a little bit by surprise, possibly with this conversation, but it ends up actually being really good for you. This also can be a time when you attract clients or new projects or just more work into your life that also has an element to it of inspiration and possibility. Where it comes to love, we've got a lot of activity happening in your opposite sign thanks to Venus. Venus will meet Saturn early in the week, and then we'll go on to speak in supreme harmony with Uranus. I mean, early in the week, it looks serious. It looks like having to accept a reality of a situation where it comes to a partner. If you are in an established bond, you're going to feel this energy that much more. But by the time we get to the end of the week, there are these wonderful turnarounds possible. Positive outcomes can take place. If you're open to meeting someone new, again, it could be early in the week where whether it's someone you're interested in or whether it is just your belief in your ability to have the love you want, there might be a little bit of whether it's hesitation, whether it's a little bit of pessimism, not that you're inclined that way. It is possible, but that energy will change dramatically. You'll start to recognize all kinds of options that are available to you in a flash. Hello, fabulous Cancer. Well, this new moon is taking place in a part of the sky for you that is super romantic, and you add to that it's a super romantic new moon at that, having Neptune speaking in supreme harmony, kind of lighting up all the water signs, if you will. And you are one who is certainly going to benefit from this, especially when it comes to matters of flirtation, matters of connecting with people spontaneously in the moment, having a meaningful exchange, lightness, and just having your imagination set alight with energy like this. This is really good if you're open to meeting someone new. Have fun, really. If you have fun, your chances of meeting that person become that much more likely. With this particular sky, there's also something to be said with this. We're for children. If you have children, this kind of sky can have your children being the source of great fun, great inspiration, and maybe even a little bit of spiritual wisdom as well. If you're in an established bond, a lot of the energy now is focused more on the lighter side of things. However, as we move towards the later part of the week, that's when established bonds are going to start to feel more of the lift and the positive energy promised with this particular sky. Now, also, we do have Venus doing some interesting things this week, interesting conversations. Now, this is all happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with the workplace. So it does look like things are pretty serious early in the week. There might be work to do, obligations to be met. It's possible that a coworker or an immediate supervisor is not the easiest person to get along with, or is not the most gracious person to get along with early in the week. That energy will change up big time. You start having a lot more fun in your day in and day out rituals and experiences and environments as we get to the end of the week. Hello, fabulous Leo. What an exciting week it is all around. And for you, you've got this new moon happening at the very base of your sky, the very base of your chart, speaking of supreme harmony with Neptune. So this, when I look at it, it says good news, bright beginnings, new possibilities transpiring, where it comes to a matter having to do with home, where you live, or your family of origin, particularly your parents, where that applies. This also can be seeing your past with a much more loving lens as well. But all of this does say positive occurrences are certainly possible now. If you're wanting to redecorate, this is a great time to make some like aesthetically super pleasing changes. If you're wanting to invest in some kind of speaker system, something to have the music flowing that much more, maybe even just having a piano or something in the room. I remember that there was a time when I wanted to have a harmonium. I don't know why I wanted it. My dad got it for me, and I just had it there in my living room as decoration. I think I played with it for 3 seconds, and then it was decoration for a couple of years. That could happen for you right around now with a sky like this. But of course, that good news, hopeful news, where it comes to family of origin, where it comes to a parent, that should be super helpful to you this particular week. Now, where it comes to matters of love, we've got some really interesting energy with Venus moving through a romantic part of your sky, a part of the sky that has to do with flirting, has to do with dating and just getting to know somebody. A little bit of a reality check happening in the early part of the week. Might be a little uncomfortable, to be honest with you, but it's reality, it's truth, and ultimately that's only going to empower you, and empower you it does. As we get to the end of the week, things can change very quickly. A spontaneous flirtation can make you realize that there are a whole lot of options available to you that you did not appreciate before. If you're in an established bond, this energy can have you wondering or have you feeling like, do we have fun anymore? Is there anything we can do to add an element of fun? Things do seem a little serious where it comes to matters of heart, matters of joy, matters of lightness. Seriousness and lightness together kind of cancel each other out. But as we get to the end of the week, I mean, there's just these beautiful romantic surprises in the air that you are very likely to benefit from. Hello, fabulous Virgo. This week's new moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors. So these types of people are going to be especially important now, possibly bringing you some new opportunities in a practical sense, possibly bringing you new opportunities in a romantic sense, or at least giving you hope in the sense that love is available to you, that there are possibilities for you. They might just be a cheerleader team, or there might actually be something more practical to it. But you can expect these people to come through for you, or at the very least bring some very good news for you connected to matters of heart. Also, these people would likely be really good for you to party with. I'm just putting it out there. This could be really good energy to have fun with these types of people. If there's any kind of forgiveness or energy of ease that needs to come into the situation, this is a great new moon, a great sky to make that happen. We do also have Venus this week meeting Saturn at the base of your chart, which has to do with matters of home. So it's where you live. It has to do with the decorations where you live. It also has to do with family of origin. So these matters can be particularly serious with energy like this, but the energy does change up considerably as we get to the end of the week. So if there are any issues that seem to come up or some changes you want to make, aesthetic changes that don't seem possible or don't seem possible right now for whatever reason, you are going to find as we get to the end of the week that the energy changes, switches up really nicely for you, and you start to experience a greater sense of possibility right where you are. Hello, Fabulous Libra. This week we have a new moon taking place in a part of the sky for you that has to do with money you earn. It has to do with earned income. It also has to do with spending as well. But when it's a new moon, it does suggest new possibilities. This particular new moon is speaking with Neptune, and that tends to be an energy that's very dreamy, very faith-filled, hope-filled, not necessarily very tangible. But as we get to the end of the week, the energy does start to get into a workable plan. And so, yes, this could very well bring with it the possibility of a new financial opportunity, at least early in the week. It looks to be more possibility than everything, or inspiration, if anything. But as we get to the end of the week, you'll start to understand whether or not this is meant to flush out and become something tangible that can really help you to create positive change where it comes to where you are in your finances, whether it's, again, income or with spending as well. This particular energy can also be really good for tapping into creative ideas. If you are a person who uses your creativity or uses inspiration or uses an artistic energy for your money, this can bring with it a lot of possibility to make that much more money through that very creative inspiration. When it comes to matters of heart, we do have Venus moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with conversation, talking, connecting with people online or on a mind level. That seems a little tough in the early part of the week, but that's the area that gets a lot of lucky energy as we move to the end of the week. If you're in an established bond, save any major conversations as late in the week as possible. You'll be glad for it. They'll feel like there's blocks early in the week to being understood. And so as we get later in the week, the energy opens up. There's an ease of understanding and an ease of fun that takes place as well. And if you're open to meeting someone new, same thing. Don't try to, I would say if you're connecting with people online, maybe ease up on that in the early part of the week. But as we move later into the week, the energy starts working very much to your advantage for making a strong connection that starts in the mind. Hello, Fabulous Scorpio. This week we've got a new moon in your sign. This is huge, having a new moon in your sign. It's bright new beginnings, new possibilities, and new opportunities as well that are very connected to what you really want, what matters to you most, what matters to you first, what matters to you in your heart of hearts. That is where you're going to get some fresh energy flowing in. And this energy is also really inspired as well. There's an artisticness, a romanticness, a hope, a belief in miracles even, that can be with you with this energy that absolutely can change just about any situation to your advantage. So you are going to want to tap into this, but this energy is super helpful to you. I think that this can be really good. We've got an artistic energy as it is for all of us available to us, but for you it becomes that much more pronounced. But also with this, I mean, really, this is about believing in yourself, believing in life, believing in potential. That can go a really, really long way to creating some really positive changes that have sort of a momentum to them, a snowball effect that benefits you in a million different ways very, very quickly. Whatever it is you really want to do, this is the time to get in touch with that and to actually take action in supporting that, to plant some seed that moves you in the direction that you truly desire to go. Where it comes to matters of love, this new moon on your side can speak to love, especially new love. The hope is there, the belief is there that you can make it happen. And so trust that, follow that. Now, early in the week, we do have Venus moving through part of the sky that has to do with finances, but there's kind of a serious energy to it. And so this also can speak to self-worth. So you might have to look at that a little bit, your sense of worthiness to being loved. But as we move towards the later part of the week, the energy changes dramatically, becomes happy, spontaneous, exciting. And for you in particular, it does look like you're starting to understand where you can change things up for yourself, where you can even see things differently that will make a positive impact on every area of life, including love and opportunities in love. If you're in an established bond, it really is later in the week that all kinds of understanding opens up. I would really avoid conversations about money in particular in the early part of the week. Just put it to the side. Just be like, Nadiya said we shouldn't talk about this until we get to the end of the week. So just put it to the side. That bill will still be there. That financial matter will still be there. But if you just wait a little bit, it's like there's a whole lot of creative thinking and possibility and change and all kinds of potential that starts to open up for you at the end of the week in beautiful ways. Hello, Fabulous Sagittarius. Well, this week we've got Venus meeting Saturn in your sky. You're going to feel that early in the week. We've also got a new moon happening, but this new moon is happening in a particularly quiet part of your sky in the sign just before yours. And so it could be that the dream space is particularly active. Your creativity certainly will be very high. You definitely want to be documenting your dreams for all kinds of really unique creative insights. That's awesome. But we've got Venus meeting Saturn in your sky. So it tends to be a time when you're seeing life a little seriously, you're being a little bit more conservative where it comes to money, maybe even seeing yourself a little bit more seriously than you deserve to, okay? That energy is going to change dramatically as we move towards the later part of the week. So this is the time really and early in the week to have faith in yourself, have faith in your life, connect with that energy, especially in your quietest moments, to breathe, be connected to breath, whatever kind of meditation you do, or just listening to meditation audios online on YouTube can go a really long way in helping you in the early part of the week to tap into the good stuff, to tap into the possibility. And as we move towards the later part of the week, I mean, all kinds of creativity opens up to you, possibility opens up to you, you recognize all kinds of options that were staring you in the face all along, but now are crystal clear. This is true in just about every area of life, financially, certainly, and in love as well. And so if you're open to meeting someone new, I would focus later in the week. That love could just show up for you. And if you are somebody who is in an established bond, whatever looks so serious early in the week, that energy could change up so dramatically. And if anyone is going to get a romantic surprise that absolutely delights you, it absolutely is going to be you. And I will also add this, with this particular energy, make sure you're busy, you're out and about, but also if you can, go shopping. Go shopping for things like clothes and makeup or get a haircut or something. You will love the outcome. Hello, Fabulous Capricorn. This week we have got a new moon happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with friendship. By the time we get to the end of the week, both the Sun and Mercury will have reached out to Pluto in your sign. Now, this does suggest friends facilitating positive change, or at least pointing the way to positive change for you. This is certainly the time for you to have faith, have hope, have a vision, have inspiration, because all of that can pay off in really big ways very quickly. The inspiration, though, is key. It manifests more tangibly as we get to the later part of the week. Also with this energy, I have to say, I mean, if you are involved in any kind of artistic endeavor, trying to make something happen where it comes to art-related matters, music, visual art, acting, writing, whatever the case may be, this sky favors those involved in the arts and inspirational arts that much more. Now, we've also this week got Venus meeting your ruling planet Saturn in the sign just before yours. This to me is like fears being stirred, okay? So just be aware of that. If you're open to meeting someone new, there might be a feeling of some restriction that you can't put your finger on. And so just that can happen in relationships. It may also be if you're in an established bond that you feel like something's going on, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe your spouse isn't being very forthcoming about it. By the time we get to the end of the week, the energy changes dramatically, becomes really positive, and this is where like a truly surprising, like out of nowhere surprise could find you in matters of heart. And that includes possibilities in love as well. And some of those possibilities you'll find very close to home. Hello, Fabulous Aquarius. This week we've got a new moon at the very top of your sky. And this new moon is happening in a part of the sky for you that has to do with your career, achievement, life purpose, understanding your direction. This is a great time for you to be considering or figuring out how you can advance your cause, whatever that cause may be, how you can move towards your goals. But it also tends to be a really good time if you're trying to go for a promotion or a new job or an interview situation of any kind. All kinds of opportunities can just open up, and in some cases magically so, that have the promise of money associated with them. Now, early in the week, we are also going to have Venus meeting Saturn. That tends to be a more serious energy, especially when it comes to matters of finance, matters of money, matters of love and heart as well. And so there might not be that sense of abundance and opportunities just yet, but don't worry about that. Things can change very quickly as we move towards the later part of the week. Some of the real blessings and opportunities and feeling like life is falling into place with these big, beautiful things and opportunities and inspirations that are showing up, your life will start to look like it is falling into place thanks to the new moon and thanks to what's happening with Venus very nicely towards the later part of the week. So whatever fear comes up, and it could also be, I gotta say, a friend who's kind of the bearer of a more pessimistic perspective, even that, you can give it love and light, and you can focus on all the opportunity and the optimism that is available to you, and it'll pay off big time as we move towards the later part of the week. Now that includes in love as well. Early in the week, especially if you're trying to bring together friendship and love, it could be a friend expresses an opinion about someone that you care about or someone that you are really into, that you're not crazy about that opinion. Ultimately, it's their opinion. You decide what you want to do with it. Is it going to be truth to you or not? Is it going to be more about that person, about the friend, or is it going to be something that really you have known but haven't wanted to see? You're going to have to consider that in the light of your own circumstances. But by the end of the week, the energy does change in a big, beautiful way. Friends can come through for you in a beautiful way. If you're open to meeting someone new, a friend could introduce you to someone that could be just that person. Now, if you're in an established bond, later in the week is really key, because late in the week, it looks like you're really feeling so happy with this person that you love. You're able to talk to them that much easier. And there are certainly plans being made, exciting plans that make you feel like just about anything positive is possible for you. Hello, Fabulous Pisces. This week we've got a new moon happening in fellow water sign Scorpio. This is super lucky for you. Super possibilities open up for you. And if anyone's going to feel this amped up sense of faith and possibility, if anyone's going to feel like the whole world is yours, it absolutely is you. And it really is. With this kind of sky, the opportunity for long distance travel can go exceptionally well. If you are wanting to get published in any way, you've got a super supportive sky to make that happen. If you are somebody engaged in higher education or a legal matter, things can go surprisingly in your favor now. And also, this can be really good in an immigration or citizenship matter as well. So there's lots of hopeful energy, lots of empowered energy in these particular areas of life. If you get a chance to travel, go. It will change you for the better. Lots of inspired energy with this particular sky. Also this week, we are going to have Venus meeting Saturn in the sign that is the very top of your sky. And this particular part of the sky has to do with sort of understanding the bigger picture, the legacy. Like, what are you really going for here? And there is going to be some clarity around that this week. Things could change very positively, very quickly as we move towards the later part of the week. But at least early in the week, there is this question in the air. If you meet somebody new or you're in an established bond, does this person fit in with that bigger picture? If not, that's okay, but at least you're being honest with yourself about that. As we move towards the later part of the week, all kinds of surprises become possible. Lovely surprises. Now, I do gotta say, this new moon, though, can also be really good for love as well. In the terms of believing in love, knowing that romance is available to you. Mercury, the ruling planet of your opposite sign, is with this particular new moon as well. There's going to be a lot of sense of possibility and belief in matters of love. So don't give in to any kind of thinking too much big picture. Does this person fit in or not? It really doesn't matter. Enjoy yourself. Let it be what it needs to be in the moment, and you'll find yourself riding an energy that's a lot more fun-based. And as we get towards the later part of the week, that is when all kinds of joy starts to open up for you. Now, this could be with a new possibility, but certainly this could be in terms of you discussing your bigger plans with that person that you love and seeing how well the two of you really can work together. Well, thank you so much for watching. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.